everyone, we're here today, the four of us from Upon a Star Travel, to talk a bit about Disney Cruise Line. I think it is safe to say that cruising on Disney Cruise Line is something unlike any other cruise that you may have taken or may even plan on taking in the future. So the four of us here are going to be talking a bit about our first experiences on Disney Cruise Line. And we're really excited to dive deep into everything from the ships that we were on to the experiences on ship, to the experiences off the ship, the food, the characters, the entertainment, all that's included, and all of the magic that happens on these ships. So my name is Yael. I just sailed last fall, so fall of 2021 on the Disney Magic. My ship, my cruise was a Halloween on the High Seas cruise. So we experienced Halloween, Disney and cruise style, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. Alexa.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name's Alexa, and my last cruise actually was back in April. Had a wonderful, wonderful time to the point we have a cruise booked for this July again. So yeah, we're going back.
Okay, Emily.
I sailed on the Dream with the lovely Alexa and our families in October for Halloween on the High Seas. And it was super fun. And we are going in July also.
Which one?
Yeah. The Dream, Miami.
Okay, we're doing 4th of July cruise on the Dream.
Woo! See, you can't get enough. You have to just go back.
That's right. I want to see Mickey all patriotic. So that's what it's about.
Oh, yay. Love that.
All right, Patty.
I'm Patty. I cruised for the first time in August of 2019 on the Fantasy. It was a 7-night, and there was like 15 of us traveling together. It wasn't anything exciting theme-wise, but obviously it was Disney Cruise, so it's amazing. And my children keep saying, "Mommy, when are we going back on the Disney boat?" So, got to get that one scheduled.
Yeah, going on the Disney boat is a big deal. In fact, I had to tell my kids we were not going to go trick-or-treating for Halloween this year because we were there actually on Halloween on October 31st. And so I had to break the news to my kids that we were not going trick-or-treating here, but we would be trick-or-treating somewhere else. And needless to say, they were okay with the change in our last minute schedule. So who would like to tell us a bit about how you decided like what cruise was going to be right for your family? And maybe if you want to mention a bit about who was traveling with you. It sounds like we've got some different sizes and styles of traveling parties.
I can kick off if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking back here a few years. Our first cruise was actually in December of 2018. And we were strictly at the time Disney park family. When we wanted to do a Disney themed vacation, it was always the parks. So we actually had a couple of friends in my daughter's school ask us if we wanted to go on a cruise. And that's how it all got started. So we decided on a Disney Maritime cruise. And it was gorgeous. I have never seen a ship look the way it did when I stepped on the Disney Dream, and you just saw this humongous Christmas tree in the lobby. It was beautiful. And that was our first cruise. Loved it. And my husband, who I thought was going to be a little bit iffy, again, we're park people. That's how we went into this, was hooked after this. And that's how more cruises came about. But the last night, probably my daughter did not want to get off the ship. She was about 9 years old at the time. She was in bed the last night of our cruise crying that she did not want to get off the ship. We missed the goodbye party on the ship, everything, because she was that upset. Next morning came around and the stewardess came in, hugged her goodbye. She starts crying. I am tearing up because I didn't want to get off the ship. She asked if we could do another cruise, and I said, I wish. Do you have, money? We'll do it. I'd love to. But it was a fantastic experience. The staff on a Disney cruise ship is phenomenal. I cannot say enough about the service on the Disney Cruise Line. They just go above and beyond to make you feel so special. Your children, Comes down to they know what your children drink every night at dinner, where they don't even have to ask you. That's how phenomenal the service is. And that's why we keep coming back. We have not tried any other cruise lines because we don't want to. We know the service we get on a Disney cruise line, and we love it. We love it. Castaway Key, everything. I mean, you're just going to get the most fantastic vacation on a Disney cruise. And right now is the time to go. It's, prices I think are great right now. And if you're considering it, definitely go sooner rather than later right now. Awesome itineraries are coming back as well.
I think you brought up a really good point with the park people versus the cruise people. And I think that there's a lot of thought about maybe not so much magic on a cruise ship. You're kind of contained to one spot. And you think about Disney World, it's so big, there's so much to experience. I know that I can say from personal experience, we were on the Disney Magic, which is the smaller of the ships. And we were not able to do everything on that ship in the time that we were there. So Emily, do you want to talk a little bit about like some onboard experiences? I know your little ones probably had a great time doing so much fun stuff.
So that's the thing. So at the time when I sailed, I was a single mom, and my little ones are 6 and 4. So we go to the parks. Well, now we're going to be all the time, but at least once a month. And it's fun, but it can be exhausting. And sometimes as a parent, you don't exactly feel like you're getting that break you need. And Disney, my little one said, "This is everything I've ever wanted." She's not like emotionally expressive at all. But the thing about that ship is you're never out of the magic. It is constant. It's when you go to your room and they're playing the music. It's when you hear the horn and, we're guessing what tune it is. And it's a constant magic. And every return you go down for dinner and there's the characters waiting for you. It's right there. And my kids, they love kids clubs anyway. And we have been on those other ships and they like it. It's great. It's fine. But there's something about Disney. There's something about picking my kids up from the kids club and being like, we made slime with Stitch and we had a pajama party with Goofy. And then there's Vanellope Sweets, which we are still talking about. We had a pajama party and went up and picked out all of our treats. And yeah, the ship was empty. I mean, it was essentially empty. We went pretty much right after they opened back up. And so my kids are a little spoiled now. They think they have the whole ship to themselves. But I mean, I can't speak enough about the onboard experiences. It's every single minute of every single day. There's more Disney magic. And the best part is, as an adult, you get to kick back and relax too. And when I would drop the kids off at Kids Club, which I really never saw my children because they always wanted to be there. They loved it so much. I never got a call. I never got a message. Hey, they need to be picked up. Nothing. And I went to my favorite place is the Cove up in the adult place. And they put those fun character designs on your coffee. It's the best. And you just sit there and you hang out and you relax and you kick your feet up for a while. And you actually feel like you get a vacation, but you're not. You get everything you need on that Disney trip. And you get off feeling relaxed and refreshed and the best food, the best service. And you can't beat it. You cannot beat the value of what you get for that trip. Hands down. We cannot wait to go in July. So excited.
It's going to be amazing.
If I can add something real quick to what Emily was talking about, I get a lot of clients who primarily, one of their main focuses when they go to a Disney park is we want to see characters. We want to meet the characters, and it's all about the characters, character dining. One thing on the Disney Cruise Line is you get so much more interaction with characters, I think, than you do at an actual park. Our first cruise, we actually got detoured one day from going to Castaway Key. Stitch came out of nowhere and played with my daughter and a group of kids for about an hour. He took them upstairs to another deck. He played shuffleboard with them. And I mean, the kids loved it. Chip and Dale came by, and for a whole hour, these kids got to have pictures taken. They played shuffleboard. They followed him throughout the entire ship. And that's what type of interaction you get as far as characters. Princesses galore. They just show up in the lobby. At meals, we've seen them. And I can't tell you the amount of pictures I got of characters. And didn't have to wait nearly the amount of time as you would in a park, waiting in line for 45 minutes. Whereas on a cruise, you wait pretty much just a few minutes and you're done after that. You go about your way, go back to the pool, go see a show. And so it's definitely, like that total time saver in that regard to get more activities packed in as you would a park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, characters are a huge deal to a lot of folks, no matter your age. We know kids love characters. We know that adults love characters too. And I agree 100%. Like seeing all those characters just show up. I mean, they were just there. They were walking down the halls. I think Goofy and his scuba gear was like my favorite, like with his snorkel and his goggles. And I was just like, this is sad. And he just came out of nowhere. Like it was just like this moment of pure joy and everybody just stops and it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. But like characters are only a part of all of the stuff that you can do on the ship. We've talked about like, kids clubs and coffee places and pools and things like that. Patty, what about your family? What did they like love about, and you went with a lot of folks, so you got like a
We
lot of
did.
generations there.
Yeah, so we cruised. It was my mother-in-law's dream to take all of her children and grandchildren on a Disney cruise someday. And she finally got around to it. And there was like 15 of us. I can't even count right now how many there were, but varying ages too. My oldest nephew on that side he just turned 15, and mine was the youngest, and he was 2.5. So like we had varying ages, but there was something for everybody. So my 2-year-old loved to go to the nursery and play with all the little kids in the nursery. But then the 15-year-old, well, he was 13 at the time, could go into the teen club and not feel like he was with a bunch of babies all the time. And so it was really nice that they had their separate spaces. And then we as adults could go and sit by the pool or have a snack or whatever. And we, like Emily said, we weren't feeling like stressed running around the parks all the time, because I've gone to the parks with these people too. And we love the parks, we do. But my mother-in-law is always a little on edge. I am too with my kid now. And so it was nice to see her actually finally stop and relax too.
Yeah, it's really nice. There definitely is something for everybody. Doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. You can have all the excitement and running around, and then you can also have the relaxing, vacation that maybe you're looking for. So, all right. So quick show of hands. How many of us, either ourselves or someone that was traveling with us, ate way too many ice cream cones to count while they were on their ships? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, because the ice cream station is definitely a high point for, I think, everybody, to the point where, and speaking of the staff and the cast members on that ship, to see all those people, the ice cream people, they amazed me. They knew what my kids wanted every time. Like, I know there's only a few options, but to see all those people and then still know what my kids specifically were going to ask for, either they ate way too much ice cream or the cast members are just that
And it's all
fantastic.
included.
All included. Yes.
All day, all night.
Yes, that and soda. Like soda's a big deal to some folks. So, the drinks on most cruise lines are like iced tea, water, lemonade, and coffee are your free beverages. And on a Disney Cruise Line, you get your sodas included as well. Now, the Cove Coffee Shop is extra, definitely worth it. Alcoholic beverages are extra in certain places, also worth it, probably. But, the dining, let's do a quick round robin here. So think a moment about the dining locations on your ship, okay? And I think we're all going to take a turn to talk about which restaurant was our favorite and why it was our favorite. All right. So I'll go first. I'm going to give you folks a few minutes to think about this. So there was definitely a little bit of discussion in our family which one was the favorite, but I'm going to go with Rapunzel's Royal Table. That was the favorite because Rapunzel is my daughter's favorite princess, and we were seated right at the front. So the show that was happening, the characters that were there, just to watch her eyes glow. And she's not a little kid. She was 13. So a 13-year-old who was excited to be surrounded in Rapunzel's world. It just made me and her dad just so happy. So Rapunzel's Royal Table, favorite on our ship. So what do you think, Emily?
So I personally loved the Enchanted Garden, but because I just love the environment, it's a little bougier. It's just really light and pretty. I get some great photos of my girls, like looking out the porthole and seeing the water. It was a great time. But I gotta go with the Animator's Palette. it's just so fun. And we brought home the fun paintbrush knife that and I think because my kid, like they could watch Crush, go around the room and talk to everybody. And our wait staff was phenomenal. And the food, I ate a ton, but my kids also ate my food. Like when I wasn't paying attention, Paige would eat everything. So, and a Mickey bar every night. So, I mean, that's the thing. Mickey bars on the ship. You're not waiting in the heat. You're not waiting behind people. You just get one. And
they don't cost $5.99 each time you get one.
Your kid eats like a quarter of it and the rest is left over her face. It's fine. It's included. I don't know. I just love something about Animator's Palette. It was just fun and it's so themed with all the Mickey things. And yeah, I loved it. We did Pirate Night in there also. Alexa and I hoot and hollered it up. And Alexa and I got into it. every restaurant. We got lucky. We were seated next to each other. So that was fun. Yeah. So I love to eat. So dining is a big deal for me. And I think some people think like when you go on a Disney cruise, it's like, oh, I gotta get chicken nuggets and French fries every meal. Like, what is this? No, it is. I cannot wait to just eat. I ate my way through that ship. And I'm gonna do it again.
That means you cruise right. You did it right there. So yeah. All right. We're gonna come back to Pirates Night though, because I want to talk about that a little bit because that is very unique to Disney Cruise Line. But Patty, let's talk about your favorite restaurant. And maybe Patty, can you touch on some dietary issues? Because I know that for some folks in your family, finding certain food is, and Disney's always very good about dietary concerns. So
always. So I don't know that I could pick a favorite based on food, but I'm a boy mom, although I do have a girl now. I'm a boy mom. So I loved going to the royal court where the princesses are all on the wall because mommy doesn't get much princesses right now. But yeah, so I am gluten and dairy free, as well as my in-laws are both gluten and dairy free. And then I have a nephew and a brother-in-law who are also gluten free. And so, you know, people say they don't want to go on vacation. They don't want to go out to eat because they can never find anything they want to eat because, you know, it's hard when you have allergies, especially dairy because everything has dairy in it. But I never went without good food and I never went without a dessert. And sometimes people are like, oh, well, if you're dairy free, you have to have fruit. Or you have to have, you know, and well, yeah, fruit's good for you, but I'm on a vacation. I want good food. I had cake, I had dairy-free ice cream, I had, you know, all kinds of stuff that wasn't just fruit, wasn't just, and it tasted good too. Because sometimes when I find something and I try it, it's like, ooh, this is kind of gross. But no, it tasted good. It was fresh. It was hot. Yes, they asked me the night before, because if you don't know, your servers follow you to the different restaurants. They asked me the night before what I wanted so that they could have it ready and available for when I came. But it was always ready when we came and ordered, and it was always good, which is much appreciated for this person who, you know, sometimes ends up eating what tastes like cardboard.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's lots of different dietary issues and Disney's always so great and it doesn't change on the cruise ships. So they will take care of you. Yeah. All right, Alexa, favorite restaurant on your ship?
I think I'm going to have to go with Emily and Animator's Palette. Basing it from my first cruise, I remember walking into that restaurant and my eyes just bugged out. I just don't think you're going to find a restaurant anywhere else that had the attention to detail that Animator's Palette does. Everything from the knives being shaped like paintbrushes to the chairs, the back of the chairs look like a Mickey design, the carpet, and the entire time the lighting is changing throughout your meal. It starts out in black and white, and then towards the end of your meal, there's nothing but color. And it keeps the kids entertained. And I think that is very, very important, especially when mom and dad want to enjoy that meal. Mm-hmm. And another thing, again, with the dining, the desserts, you don't like a dessert, if you want more of that dessert, they'll bring you 4 more if you want, because it's all included. We had that a couple of times. My husband got a little piece of cake, ended up eating my dessert. So of course, okay, just order more. And that was one of the great things about it. But yeah, truly Animator's Palette. And I believe they are on every one of the ships. I think that's one of the restaurants that it is on every ship. And yeah, we just loved it. Loved it. Like Emily said, I got so many pictures. The kids love it. And I think that was one of the restaurants where we had Pirate Night as well. So made it more fun. But yeah, the food is always amazing on every one of the restaurants. I have not had a single meal where I did not enjoy it. And one of the nice things about the Disney cruises, you do not have to worry about making a reservation or thinking about where you're going to have dinner that night. It is planned out for you. You get on that ship, and they give you one of these, by the way. Looks like a little credit card, and on here is going to be your kind of agenda of where you're going to be eating dinner every night. So again, less planning for mom and dad and more time for you to just have fun and not worrying about the where you're going to have dinner that night, because it's already planned for you.
And you don't, some folks are not really sit down dining folks, and you don't need to be. There are other options. There is a buffet on each ship as well. So you can choose to go there and get your meals. We only really did dinner in the dining rooms. We did, well, breakfast always up in Cabanas, and then lunch was somewhere else generally. But there's definitely options if you're not the sit down, or you don't think your kids are going to sit through it, even though they will want to sit through it because it is amazing. There are other eating options for especially eating on the go or quick meals here and there. So and Animator's Palette, I would agree, is one of the most unique dining experiences that I've ever had. Like you said, from the lights, the colors. And again, I don't know if the experiences might be a little bit different, but we like drew a picture, and then that picture comes to life. Like my kids got to sit there, draw a picture, and then halfway through dinner, watch the show, and they got to see their picture literally come to life on the walls. So it's unlike any other dining room I've ever eaten in my entire life. And we also experienced Pirates Night in Animator's Palette. Patty, did you do Pirates Night in Animator's Palette too? Because
I don't remember which restaurant we were in, honestly. I want to say it was Enchanted Garden though.
Okay. So it's not always an Animator's Palette, but Pirates Night. Anyone want to talk a bit about Pirates Night? I mean, I think we all get into it. We all still have our bandanas. I even bought the collectible mugs that light up because I was so into the pirates.
I should have brought my pirate ears down I bought on the ship. Didn't you think about that?
I do have my Disney Cruise Line ears that I love that are not looking good in this virtual background, but here they are. They're very cute. Okay.
All right. I'll give my 2 cents on Pirate Night here. I'll keep it, try to keep it short and sweet because I know everyone else wants to talk about it. But yeah, I think that is one of the highlights of a Disney cruise is Pirate Night. And we just got the best news of travel agent wise a couple of weeks ago that Pirate Night pretty much came back in full force with all the full festivities they did pre-COVID, which is a great thing. So Pirate Night is basically one night a week on the cruise. Pirate music is playing on the ships, and for dinner you are asked, or it's not mandatory, but most people like to get in the spirit of it, dress up in pirate gear, anything pirate, whether it be a pirate shirt, full-blown pirate costume, anything pirate. This past cruise, I bought myself some pirate ears on the ship. So if you do forget to buy something, they do have things in the gift shops that you can wear for Pirate Night. They have some kids' costumes, little things like that. But I saw adults in full-blown pirate, down to the boots, the pants, the swords, jackets, everything. So it's completely up to you how far you want to go, into this pirate. But it's a great night. Each of the restaurants, like Yale said, they'll have bandanas at the table for you to put on. I think the funniest thing this cruise was my husband had no idea how to put it on his head. I think I recorded him for about 5 minutes trying to figure that out, and no, it didn't work out. But throughout dinner, they do a little surprise. I'm not going to give too much away, but they kind of, do a little show for you in each of the restaurants, which is nice for the kids. And after dinner, we went to the top of the deck, and they had fireworks night as well. And that's another thing I think you're only going to get with Disney are fireworks on the ship. And it's a sight to see. You're out in the middle of the water, and you're getting fireworks. So that's a nice ending to the night, but yeah, it's a really popular activity. Families love it. I love it. Kids love it. There's just a lot to do on the ship that day that gets you in the spirit. Like I said, they start playing Pirates music on the ship. If you're familiar with the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you're going to hear that music a lot. So yeah, highly recommend that. You're going to get a lot of great pictures that night as well, especially when the characters are dressed up in pirate themed outfits as well. You don't typically get to see a lot of that in the parks. On the Disney cruises, they do have a lot of nice little bougie outfits for the characters to wear that get into the theme of that particular night or a particular cruise you're on as well.
And I think that was really one of the cool parts about being on a Halloween cruise, which was we saw characters dressed up in their Halloween costumes. We saw characters dressed like they were going to the beach. We saw characters dressed in their pajamas. We saw the
Mhm.
characters dressed up as pirates for pirate night. And you're right, like seeing those characters all in their different costumes, their different outfits was something you don't get in the parks. It's definitely
And Captain Jack is on the ship as well. So you most likely see him walking around.
yeah, one of the best
It-
characters to meet anywhere.
Mhm.
I love that there
Mhm.
are those characters you don't see too. Like we saw Thor, we saw, Doctor Strange, but on Pirate Night, we saw Captain Hook, we saw Smee, we saw Peter Pan, which you can see in the parks, but like you don't see Captain Hook and Smee very often, especially together in the parks.
Yep. Yeah, definitely some different experiences on the ship, but let's talk a little bit about off the ship. Now we all went on different, well, Alexa and Emily were on the same cruise, but most of us went on different cruises. So we went to different islands, but I definitely want to talk a bit about what makes Disney Cruise Line so special, which is Castaway Cay, their own private island, which is actually where this picture was taken from. So this is the beach, one of the beaches on Castaway Cay. So thinking about your Castaway Cay experiences, so let's talk a bit about what did you do? What did you like? Maybe was there anything that you didn't like about Castaway Cay? I don't know. That'd be hard to, I think, come up with. For us, we did snorkeling. I think snorkeling is like a must do on Castaway Cay to see what is under the water there, because it's not just fish and it's not just sea life. There is a whole bunch of magic in the ocean at Castaway Cay. And you get a lot of good videos of your family members putting on flippers and trying to walk down the beach, because that is always like a really fun thing to watch. And then there are additional like water play areas and slides and ropes and so much to do. And characters. Donald and Daisy were building a sandcastle when we got there. It was like the cutest thing. They were arguing about the sandcastle, and I could have stood there and watched them forever. So, so what else? What else did we do, Emily? What did you do on Castaway Cay?
So first of all, I love when you get off the ship and you're like, oh, we're on an island. It's beautiful. Yay. The water is stunning. You're like, okay, this is it. And then you get off and you're like, oh, there's Captain Jack Sparrow. And then we're taking the tram. And it's like, oh, there's Donald and Daisy. And oh, there's a Chip and Dale. And you're right. They're all doing something. They're all enjoying the island. And it just gets you excited. So because I have two little ones and mom wanted a break, so I'm like, we just went to the beach right there and we just hung out in the water all day. And it's one of our favorite memories and we talk about it all the time. But I just sat in the water and they're like, Mom, can you hold this? I'm like, no, I'm done. No, my hands are in the sand. There's a chair right there, literally right there. And, but I sat there and they braided my hair and they put seashells and made me a mermaid. And it was just sweet. We just watched the water and the ship. And it's just such a sweet bonding moment. And I know we'll never forget it. It was so special. And there's something about, like, we live at the beach currently until Saturday, but we live at the beach. So we're there frequently, but there's just something about being there and just relaxing. And there is so much to do. And we had 2 days at Castaway. So the next day, we went to the splash area for the kids. It's adorable. And it's a nice little splash pad, has a nice ground, soft ground for the kids. And there's a nice shaded area where parents can just sit and chill out. And I made friends with some people there. And then we went to the barbecue and had one of my favorite pictures I ever took. I'll post it later. Is Madeline and Paige eating banana ice cream cones. Because again, even though you're there, there's still ice cream. And they're just so happy and they're just so carefree. And it's just one of my very favorite pictures ever of them. And the food was great. And then it's like, you go back and it's like, we came back early and they got a bath and took a nap. And then I relaxed with my feet up and watched beautiful water. So it was time for dinner. But we're excited to go back and do some more things, whether bike riding or snorkeling. I really want to do the snorkeling. Really, really want to do that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say that you mentioned the food and the ice cream, it's all still there. And unlike when you get off at other islands, that's
Mhm.
also included. So the
Mhm.
meals that you eat there, the snacks that you get there, the drinks that you get there, that's all included in your cruise price. So not, when you get off other islands, but Castaway Key is part of your Disney cruise. It's like an extension onto an island
Mhm.
of your Disney cruise.
There is beach service also. There is beach service. So I got to have a pina colada. The kids had virgin pina coladas and we sat there and chilled out. Yeah, it's nice. It was great. And it's, again, as a single mom who's there without anybody else to schlep anything, it was very relaxing and because you were just so catered to and everything was taken care of. And it was so, so nice to just get on and not have to worry about anything. And you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
So
So I
yeah.
think it is important to note that like it is easier to do this as a single parent. So maybe, even if you're
It
not a
is.
single parent, sometimes two parents can't take the time off to go on a vacation.
Mhm.
So thinking about this vacation is something that one parent could do with multiple kids because Emily's got two kids. So,
Mhm.
and she was able to do this and it's because of the Disney environment and the Disney cast members and everyone
Yeah.
that's so conscientious about what's going on that you're able to do this kind
And
of
I went
experience.
on another ship previously with them, another brand of ship. Again, love that brand of ship too. But I was by myself also, and it was not the same experience.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. It was really, and there is a community of single parents who do go on these ships. And they're like, can we go? Is it okay? And I'm like, it is more than okay. It's more than okay. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Alexa, sorry to cut you off there. Please.
No, I just wanted to chime in. I think it was the cruise Emily and I were both on together that there was a wedding taking place at Castaway Key. Was it that cruise? Because I know I got pictures. We arrived at the island and we saw a crowd of people and there was an actual wedding ceremony taking place. Actually, Yale, it looks like your background. They got married under the palm trees with these
Looks
ships
beautiful.
behind them. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, if I could do it again. I mean, it was just a beautiful day, and to have those type of pictures and memories, to get married there and just have that
Mhm.
every single picture. I mean, wow.
Do you have a favorite thing from Castaway Key for your family? Because it wasn't your wedding. I mean, it sounds wonderful, but
Yeah. Someday maybe my
Yeah.
husband's gonna watch his hand hit.
Yeah, like a
But,
recommitment ceremony.
I would have to say the bike riding. I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed that because I just want to go to the beach that day and relax and, just watch my child play. But she wanted to go for a bike ride. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take one for the team. Ended up doing it. And like I said, we had a great time. We were probably gone for about well over an hour. And nice thing about biking on Castaway Key is it is completely flat. You do not have to be a professional bike rider in shape, what have you. It was just a nice scenic bike ride. Plenty of places to stop. And one thing I did take notice to, there are water filling stations throughout the entire pathway when you're biking. So if you do get hot and tired, they do have water, for you to drink, take a little break. And again, it was just a really nice way to get off the beaten path of where all the people were for a while and just to take some really nice pictures, see other parts of the island. One thing they do have was a really pretty cool observation tower that I did not know was there until I biked over and saw it. You climb a pretty good, decent amount of steps, and there's just a really nice lookout where you can see the entire island, the whole circumference of it. They have little binoculars there for you to look at. It's just a really, really nice picture location as well. So if you could definitely take some time away from the beach and just do something different, highly recommend the bike riding. Bikes are very plentiful there. So it's a nice little change of scenery to just do something different for an hour of your day to break it up a little bit.
I like when you said flat. That made me want to do it a bit more. So
I like that as well, especially because
Yes.
I had flip-flops on.
yes. Oh, biking in flip-flops. Okay. All right. That's definitely an experience in of itself. So. Okay. Patty, what about you? Castaway Key.
So I'm kind of disappointed. It stormed our whole day, except for like the last hour before dinner when my kids were napping then.
Oh.
So, I mean, we played in the water and we enjoyed it, but I have to go back because it was not that beautiful sunshine that's in your background. It was pouring down rain.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But even a rainy day at Castaway Key is better
Is
than like a sunny
rainy day in
day
Pittsburgh?
somewhere else. So
In Pittsburgh?
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, definitely a
So
reason
sad.
to go back and enjoy all that. I mean, because biking and hanging at the beach and snorkeling are only like a few of the things that are possible there. Swimming with stingrays. My daughter really wanted to swim with the stingrays, and I wasn't really up for that. So she loves stingrays, and I was like, maybe when you're a little bit older. I don't know. Um, but there's so many other things to do, and there's an adult portion of it. So if you're not traveling with kids, you don't necessarily, maybe you're not a kid person, and that's okay. Those folks exist. There are adult places on the ship. There are adult places on the islands. And then there are excursions that are geared towards adults for all the islands. So there's age limits and age requirements. So if you're looking to take a Disney cruise and you're thinking, well, it's just for kids, it is not just for kids. It is for adults as well. Lots of honeymooners love to go on Disney cruises. It's a really
know,
big
Mhm.
honeymoon.
Can I say something to that?
Mhm.
So my in-laws are huge Disney people, huge Disney people. They've been on other cruise lines. They go back to Disney Cruise Line time and time again, just the two of them. And they're in their 60s. Like, and I said, the first time I met them before I kind of really got into this, and I never experienced Disney cruise because motion sickness runs in our family. I said, well, why do you do that? Isn't it run full of kids? And my mother-in-law is like, no, like there is enough space for me and for my husband to do and feel like we're part of the Disney magic, but not overrun with kids. And she loves that about going there. She's like, I've been on other cruise lines, and while they're kid friendly, I feel like they don't have as much for the kids to do, so they're constantly underfoot. Whereas Disney, like Emily said, the kids were constantly in the kids clubs, and they aren't underfoot all the time.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really good point that there's lots to do again for everybody, but it doesn't matter who you're traveling with, your adults, your kids, mix of everybody, you're going to have a good time on a Disney cruise. So, and while I do realize, I think that we could sit here and talk for hours about Disney cruises, we are running out of time. So we're definitely going to have to wrap this up. So I'm going to ask a really hard question. Okay. And this is going to be really hard. You're going to do the best you can with it. Okay. And I'm throwing this at them on the spot, everybody. So this is really, okay. You need to pick one thing that was your favorite from Disney Cruise Line. One. It can only be one. It can't be two, can't be three, can't be 1.5. It has to be one. Okay. So I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to go first, and I'll tell you that my favorite thing is the ship's horn that plays Disney melodies instead of just a traditional horn. Okay. My mom is, we're of Dutch ancestry. She loves to cruise Holland America because she likes to be in the Dutch community as she can. But every time she gets to a port and there's a Disney Cruise Line ship there, she goes on her balcony and she just waits to hear the Disney Cruise Line horn go off, because she's also a Disney person. She's a Disney person and she's a Dutch person. But that is her favorite thing too. And so I think it must be like a genetic. But when you wish upon a star, when that comes over the horn, just like Patty said, like tears, it's wonderful. So, all right, who wants to go next? One favorite thing. And we know there's lots of things to love, but
All right.
okay. All right, go ahead, Alexa.
I went with my first thought that popped in my head, and that would be the shows. I could watch a Disney Cruise Line show every night of my life if I could. I mean, they're that good. Our last cruise, actually teared up on our last night. I believe we saw it was either, I think it was called Believe. And just a really, really good show. I mean, it just sends that true message of why you're on that ship and what a Disney cruise is all about. So yeah, I teared up in the shows. Definitely don't miss those, which is nice. They set them up in the evening according to your dinner time. So it's not something where you're going to miss dinner to see a show, which is nice. But definitely take that opportunity to see the entertainment on the ships, because the shows are just first rate shows, singing, costumes, dancing, everything.
Definitely. Yep. 100% agree with that one. Shows are wonderful on Disney Cruise Line. Wonderful. All right. Who wants to go next? Favorite thing? Patty, you look
I'll
like
get
you're
to
ready.
go. I love just the access to the characters. I love hugging my favorite character. I love seeing my kids hug their favorite character. And like we said earlier, they just kind of show up. Like you walk up the stairs and oh, there's Thor. Or we were sitting in the atrium and in walked Belle, and my 2-year-old ran over to her and gave her the biggest hug because he loves Belle. Like, so it's just like that's what I love as a mom and as a Disney fan.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, mine's very similar to that, but I was gonna say all the spontaneous magical moments, because there's something all the time. There is something, like everything from like the bed sheet changes on the bunk beds to I mean, my kids literally thought that I went out and bought those sheets for them. I'm not that prepared. So, but thanks, Disney. But it's every time you turn and you look at the picture, you go down the hall and you're like, oh wait, there's a picture, and you press the button and that moves and it's magic. And oh, and then we're gonna sit down here. Oh, and there's Minnie like waving to us. And I think it speaks to me because back in the day, when in the 80s, when you would go to Disney World, there would be spontaneous character interactions, and you would be able to have these authentic moments with these characters, and it felt very, very real. Like here we are walking through Mickey's house, and here's Mickey, and here's Pluto, and here's Captain Hook, and I have pictures of me like laying on a bench with Smee in, just randomly somewhere. I don't even know. But it just, like my kids have that, they get those moments, and you never know what's coming down the path, and it's just constant magic. And that horn, when you're sitting on the deck and that horn goes off, I mean, I cry. I'm a mess. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's just, and you just feel so thankful that you're getting to experience those things with your kids and watching. So my favorite thing, even with all that, is watching my kids' faces. For sure.
I like the idea of magical moments. I think that is like spot on. What you're getting is just constant magical moments.
You don't get it anywhere else. You just don't.
Yeah.
You do not get it anywhere else.
Nope, you do not.
Nope.
So yeah. Well, thank you all for spending this time with me today and taking the time to talk about Disney Cruise Line. Where, if folks want more information about Disney Cruises, where can they find you on social media or contact you via email, Alexa?
I am on Facebook and Instagram as well. On Facebook at Alexa Eastley at Upon a Star, and also by email, Messenger. I'm available, and definitely Upon a Star agents definitely know they're cruising, so definitely reach out to us because we love planning those magic moments for you.
All right, Patty, where can we find you if we want to go on a Disney cruise?
Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, but I can't remember. At Upon a Star Patty. See?
We'll find you there. Yeah. Emily?
I am on Facebook and Instagram at Upon a Star Emily. Yep.
Yeah. And again, for me, you can find me both on Facebook and Instagram. Yael Leads Upon a Star Travel on Facebook, and Yael Upon a Star on Instagram. So thank you all again. Hopefully we'll chat again soon. We could talk more about all of Disney cruises and Disney parks and Adventures by Disney and all the different things that exist out there for those who love adventure and also want that Disney quality of a vacation. So thank you again. Have a wonderful magical rest of your day.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.